Mr. Speaker, I see hate. Mr. Speaker, I see bitterness. Mr. Speaker, I see acrimony. Mr. Speaker, I see animosity. And Mr. Speaker, I see a man completely out of control. Completely out of control, Mr. Speaker. That is what I see. And that problem is not a new problem to me, you know. I was aware of the tendency for the Honourable Member to go out of control since 1987.
If this country cannot call to order its Prime Minister and his cabinet and his political party to say we are not accepting that, then God help us.
In what may well have been a bare-all address to supporters on the Harris Promenade in the heart of his San Fernando East constituency on Tuesday night, PNM political leader Prime Minister Patrick Manning recounted the many struggles he faced on the road to becoming Prime Minister.
It was not an easy walk. And anybody who wishes to be Prime Minister of this country has to go through the political fire, has to be forged on the anvil of political opinion, and has to be subject to the slings and arrows of all of those who are against us.
In his opinion, UNC political leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar is not ready. He believes Persad-Bissessar lost an opportunity to show her political savvy.
If Mrs. Persad-Bissessar had the political acumen that is required to run a country like Trinidad and Tobago, you know what she would have done? She would have had Michaela Pandey as the candidate for Couva North. And then you would have seen political acumen.
But while he weighed in on the UNC internal issues, he was also admitting to some mistakes of his own. In 1995, when he took the decision to call an early election, he says only 6 people knew. One of the 6 told his then Trade and Industry Minister, Brian Quaitong.
He was with Mr. Pandey and we did not know. So he went to Mr. Pandey and he told Mr. Pandey what the plan was. And therefore, what they were able to do was to quietly prepare for an election when the PNM couldn't do it, for fear that if we started to prepare for a general election and were seen to be preparing for that, that we would give away the hand, secrecy.
It was a mistake, he says, which he made once and which he did not intend to ever repeat again, which is why no one in the cabinet or the ruling PNM knew the election date before he announced it. For CNC3, I'm Melissa Williams.
Argue your case. Everybody has a chance to do it. But not like my good friend. The minute you oppose my good friend, Mr. Speaker, the minute you oppose my good friend, he gets very, very angry. And if you oppose him strongly, Mr. Speaker, he becomes a raging bull. And that is what this government is not prepared to act. That is what it was. We just were not prepared to accept that.
I went to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in August 2003 as a Minister of Government in Trinidad and Tobago, a PNM Minister, and told him that there was bid rigging taking place in Udicott. What the Commission of Inquiry is looking at is 10 times worse than what happened with Piarco Airport. And it's even more brazen